Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, which is a sourcing technique on how to find mismatched properties in your location. So if you're looking for residential properties to buy as a buy to let or an investment property of any kind, this is a great way of trying to find those outlier opportunities that maybe the seller or the agent has possibly mismatched. They put it on the wrong price, for example, or they specifically put it on at that price, but it's a really great opportunity. And in the traditional search methods, this is often missed. So I'm going to show you a very simple free technique on how you can find these great properties. So super easy. Pick your portal of choice. We're using Rightmove in this example. Loads of other portals out there. This is a good one to give you a big context in terms of the amount of properties, and you don't need a specific paid for tool or anything to do this. This is just using the straightforward Rightmove search portal. Just simply set up a Rightmove account and then you can save your properties as well as you're going through this example. So I'm going to pick an area first of all. I'm going to use Chester for this example. And there's a couple of different steps to this approach. So the first step is simply doing a search to find properties that fit your basic criteria. So if you're looking for a buy-to-let, maybe you're looking for 3-bedroom opportunities, maybe you're looking for a specific location. So this is where we can put in that criteria. Also, for most people, they have a very specific price point they're looking at. So let's say 200 to 300,000 in this search. Property types, I'm going to leave this open for this search, but it's a great way to narrow down on the second stage the types of properties that you're really looking for, because some people only want flats or only want houses or whatever it might be, depending on your strategy. So I'm going to leave this open currently, but please feel free to add your preference, add it to site, keep that broad, include under offer, sold subject contract. I would usually add this because it gives us more opportunities. Now there's different sourcing techniques that we show in different videos where we do and don't add this filter in because it can really influence the types of properties you get. But for this search, I'm going to include it and then find properties. So that's it, simple as that. Step one, done. Just an initial criteria of properties that fit. So 216 properties currently coming up in that search. The next phase now is using the map function. Now, usually these search portals default to a list, which is great for most day-to-day searches. The problem with that list, though, is it's very difficult to identify, in this case, any mismatched opportunities. So whether it's highest price or lowest price, you can keep that the same. We could be looking at properties here and here and here, but have no real context in terms of, well, is this one priced accurately and this one's too high, or is this one priced accurately and this one's too low? There's no additional context that helps when you're looking at this grid or list feature. However, if we go to map, there's some really interesting techniques that we can use here to really narrow it down. Now you can play around with this. You can add in more criteria, less criteria. And really it's a case now of trying to isolate each individual part of the map to then look at one opportunity, what price it's on, what type of property, and then what properties nearby are priced differently. Maybe they're higher, maybe they're lower. Maybe it's exactly the same property type, but one needs a massive refurb and another one doesn't, but they're the same price. So these types of techniques can really now hone in on a short list of opportunities that could be a really interesting fit. So we started off with about 200 in the list. That's impossible to view. It's going to take you ages. So we want to go from 200 down to a handful of properties that you can then actually view. And there's a couple of stages to that. So first, sort, second, shortlist and filter, and then the third is going to be the actual kind of viewing itself. So what I'd probably say here, now this is a great time to start to tweak the types. So I'm going to put to terraces, and you can do this for every type if you're looking for every type. It's just by narrowing down. So if you start with terraces, then you move to semis, then you move to detached as an example, it'll make this process much easier. And then if we scroll in, we can then start to see those listings in that particular section of the map. And you can see the map adjusts and starts to add in properties already that are in that right criteria. Now, the reason for doing this is because we're trying to build a potential list of properties that are worth viewing, properties that are outliers, that could be a really good opportunity. And when you're doing shortlisting of properties and you're looking at hundreds of properties all the time, it can get a little bit blind in terms of you're seeing the same types of stuff. It's hard to identify the opportunities, and this is a simple way to do that. So if we click on property here, we can start to see the detail. 3-bedroom terrace, 260,000. Nearest properties here, 250. Different style of property, similar price range. I'm going to look for ones that are, here we go. If we scroll in a little bit further, 225, 260. So that is a really interesting difference. Now this one, just at the pictures without looking at kind of the description, certainly looks like a larger property, even has a little bit here, deceptively spacious, than this new build. So what looks like maybe an ex-council property, very often larger properties, bigger floor plans, bigger gardens compared to maybe a new build estate, which are usually much smaller footprints. But that's quite a difference from 260 to 225. And it's as simple as that. We then add that as a saved property to our shortlist, and then we'd go into our portal account later on and just narrow those properties down further. So if you start off with a clean account, there's no properties in it, and then you add this one, you've got one property then to start to really dig into and see, okay, well, does it fit your criteria? Is it the right condition? Anything in the description that might help? Maybe call the agent, have a chat with the agent to try and understand a little bit about the seller's circumstances. The property is still available even, because sometimes they're not updated on the portals, or the agent hasn't got around to updating the listing yet for any reason. And that gives you then the next phase of shortlisting to then start to arrange kind of viewings on. But that's it. I'll show you another couple of examples just to get kind of a clearer idea. So 210 here for a more traditional type terrace. This one's 200. There's a small price difference, not massive, it's only 5%. So it's not, I wouldn't say for this particular approach, massively different, worth saving. This one's unusual. It's quite an unusual picture as well. It looks quite a large kind of terrace, but that's 240 versus 200 versus 210. So maybe this one here could be worth saving. It's already ticked, but I'd add that to the account, because specifically for the one nearby here, 200 to 240, significant difference, 20%. Next one, 200, same again. Maybe this one here is the outlier. Maybe 200 is about the right sort of level. And these ones here, 200, 200 and 210 is in and around the right sort of price range. Depending on your strategy, might be worth looking at that and seeing why that is like that. Could be because of the condition, maybe it's just had a refurb, maybe it's had an extension. Just helps you get an understanding about the local location by digging into the pictures a bit more. But there's nothing there that I would be just going to add those two. Yeah, there's nothing there that I'd be saying, oh, there's loads of properties. There's just a couple there where the potential for an outlier makes sense. So move over to the next location in town. So still the same area. We're just scrolling horizontally or vertically across the map. So we're looking at 3 bedrooms here, 270, 245. Interesting. That's a good price difference. I need to go in a little bit closer here to get the extra tab. 290. Nice. So 245 for this terrace, or this one at 290. That's quite a big difference. Could be a good reason for that, but I'd certainly be adding that one to the list. And then that's it. Simply scroll, find new parts of the city, and you'll start to see the properties populate, and then simply do the same thing across the area. Again, we can always tidy these filters up if we need to narrow it down, if there's too many properties and it's making the map quite hard to kind of look at or to go through. But that's it really. It's very simple. Shortlist those properties, get a list of properties that are going to be a really nice fit for you to then arrange viewings on, and hopefully these outlier opportunities that have a price mismatch could be an interesting one to go and view. Let me know your thoughts, any questions on this particular strategy or any other strategies in the comments below, and it'd be great to catch up with you in the next video. All the best.